Hello, Obophiles! Today, we're going to be talking about sharpening a knife to do what we always do here on the Obophiles channel, which is straight razor shaving. So let's go ahead and say our catchphrase, which we always say. Do it with me this time. How about a shave? So you want your knife to be able to cut more than facial hair. So today I'm going to show you kind of how I learned to sharpen my knife. So I just got a brand new knife in the mail. It's a Tsurugi double hollow ground razor, and if you want to see me getting that one in the mail, I actually got it during my reed making session with Emily, which you can see in the description below. So she taught me the Genda method in that video, but I'm going to do something a little different, which I've kind of adapted, and it takes a lot more steel, so it's just a little different, and it definitely takes cane off of reeds though, so let's get into that. Okay, so first let's go through the materials we're going to use. I'm going to use this diamond stone. It's really just like a plastic block with steel over it, but the case looks like this, and it says diamond whetstone if you guys are looking for it, and it's a very rough stone. We're going to use that first to get a very coarse edge, and then we're going to move on with this ceramic stone, which is made by Spider Co. And the case looks like this in case you're looking for it as well, and I'll have all these in the description below. Lastly, I'm going to use this sharpening rod, which is, I think this one's made by Midwest, so MMI, and it's just to put a very smooth finish on it. Lastly, I just started using this rubber kind of flooring, and that's just to keep the stones from moving too much. So let's get into it. I just got this brand new knife from Tsurugi, and as you can tell, it doesn't really have an edge on it yet. It's really straight. Let's compare it to my previous knife, which you can see has lost a lot of steel in comparison. The blade, it's not quite half as short, but it's definitely a lot skinnier. And look at the archings. This is from me not putting even pressure. But, you know, it got sharp, and I'm going to try to do a better job with this knife, because it is brand new, and hopefully it'll last a lot longer. Okay, so let's get into it. The Genda method uses kind of a nickel and dime for heights. I'm going to try to do that as well, but I'm just going to use my fingers to feel it. And instead of going up and down like I was in like a different video if you've seen me sharpen knives before, I'm just going to use my fingers here. A lot of people have asked about the, I'll cut right here and say that you should like and subscribe below if you haven't already. And yeah, maybe tell someone about this video if they're trying to sharpen their knife. So you might have seen me in a previous video interview Grace, who is a great oboe player in Colorado, and she was using a cool like jig to secure the angle for her knife. I don't have one of those, so I just use my finger, and what I'm doing on this edge, I'll show you, is I just put my finger on the corner of the stone and the blade, and I just kind of feel for the height of the blade there. And the angle I'm using is very small, so I guess that would be like a very shallow angle, not steep, I guess, whatever the opposite of steep is. A gentle incline, perhaps. A low angle. And I'm just feeling for that. And if you do want to measure with the coin, I guess this would be the height of a dime. And I'm going to put my other hand here and tilt the blade so that the whole thing is on the stone. This blade's actually a lot wider than I'm used to, so it might have a funny angle. Let's try the other way instead. That actually doesn't work as well. Okay, so we'll try this way. And what I'll do is I'll bring the blade towards me to hopefully get the whole thing across. And maybe this way does prevent me from getting really even access across the blade. But it's the way that I've gotten the most speed to get that side of the blade honed. I also, which is a little bit unique, only go in one direction. I know a lot of people rub back and forth. But for some reason, I think I learned this actually when I was in Louisiana. I just go one way, and I'll do a similar angle on this side, but this one's going to be a little bit higher. So maybe this is like the nickel height, and I don't want to go too high like I was in a previous video with an older knife. I just want to keep it really shallow again. And I might do, oh yeah, you can kind of hear the sound of the steel coming off there. But I just want to do a few swipes like that. Now, because it was a brand new blade, I didn't have any burr to take off. But if I had, like the next time I use this knife, I'll have to take off the burr, which you can see on any of the other sharpening videos how to do that, which is just like a straight across. And that is already starting to give me a burr that I can cut with. So I'm catching the blade on my thumb. So at this point, I will go to the ceramic stone, and I'll do a low angle here, maybe do a couple. And the same thing on the other side, just a little bit higher than that. You can definitely hear it, so that's I really like hearing the steel come off. And that's kind of how I know that I got the angle correct. Yeah, that's feeling really good to me. And then lastly, I'll come to the rod and just go 1, 2, and then this one, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that feels pretty good to me. So last thing I'll do to check is I'll just stick a reed in the water. I think this is like a second day or first day reed maybe. I think it's first day reed actually. Okay. And I might take off a little bit off the back, if we can see, and I don't want to use any pressure whatsoever. I'm just looking to see that it does take off cane with no pressure. So I don't like to use any pressure when I'm scraping. I just want to be able to take cane off very easily. So you see it does take some cane off. Got my knife sharp. I wish I had like a less finished reed so I could show you maybe this guy. Let's go in the water real fast. And we will try to scrape a little bit on the tip. And maybe I can show you that. There's not much to knife sharpening. You just need a knife that works for you. So if you can make a reed with the knife sharpening technique that you're using, I hesitate to change anything. So yeah, I mean that's taking off cane really easily. So I'm not using any pressure at all, and I'm just trying to take, like, really define the tip on this reed now. And yeah, it's taking cane off. I think I took more off that tip than I did off the back, so yeah, it's just really, really buttery and no catches whatsoever. So that's good. Able to get all the way to the end of the tip. And you can control a sharp knife so you only take off what you mean to take off and nothing extra. So this guy we're going to do a little bit more there, really defining the tip on this reed. And I'm staying out of the middle, which you can do if your knife is sharp. And yeah, it takes off a little bit at a time there. Let's see if we can do a wholesale demonstration, maybe on the back of this reed. Yep, no pressure whatsoever, and taking lots of rolls off. So as long as the cane feels buttery under your knife, you know you're doing a good job. Alright, and that's all there is to it. So brand new knife, brand new reed. Yeah, maybe I'll show this reed in another demonstration. I think it might be, I'm not even really sure the history of this reed, but it's probably going to go out to somebody in the mail soon once I finish making it. So a couple days old, and we'll let it dry out and I'll make it another day. So when it comes to sharpening your knife, you just need to find something that works for you. I'll show you what works for me and what I do, and you might want to try that, give that a shot, but definitely don't hesitate to go out there and find all different kinds of methods to sharpen your knife, because you need a knife that allows you to make a reed. That's the most important thing about reed making, is having a sharp knife, and having a sharp knife that you can actually use. Other than that, I hope that you guys use your sharp knives to make beautiful reeds and play beautifully. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.